All right. Thank you so much for joining today in the expanding the Holy Instant moment in the Master Teacher Tape Group. We can also call it that. So really great that we can continue and become totally still within ourselves to listen, to hear, to be instructed, but basically to just relax into our innerness in order to have revealed what you truly are. So it's like it's not really that you have to do anything for that. So that's good to know too. So here in this moment I just want to stand still. It's like, what is it that you're trying to do? What is it that you're trying to achieve? Or why are we here? What is this? What are we doing here? It's like, what are we doing here? What are we exercising? What is it that we want to discover? What is it that you want to discover? What is it that you really, really need to discover in this moment? Like that's really what brought you here. Like there's something that pulled you here that you want to breathe in or to discover more or to explore more. And that's really great. It's like it's an adventure. So you need an adventurous mind to even do this, because look at what you're doing. Do you have any idea what's going on? You step beside the trodden path of humanity, and you step not a little bit a part of it. It's like you turn it upside down in your consciousness. You allow that to occur within you, to actually have a totally different vision come to you that basically turns everything around 180 degrees. I'm dying when I'm 80. No, you're not. You have life eternal. There's no such thing as sickness. Well, sin, disease, disaster, they're everywhere in my humanhood. None of that has any reality. It's like, how much do you turn it around to 180 degrees? My thoughts do not mean anything. As a human being, I think my thoughts are everything, because what else do I have? It's the only thing I have, my thoughts. My ideas about everything is what determines what is there. If I don't think like that, everything disappears and I become alone, like a hollow, empty shell. No, you're a shaft of pure light, forever extending as the truth that you are. It's like this beautiful, shining star, fed by source, extending into infinity forever. No, you're a human being on planet Earth, one of the billions. Like, you're just one of us in a mega, mega big universe that you will never be able to discover, is what you heard as a human being. It's like, no, no, no. You are the ruler of the universe. You're the ruler of the universe. Your will and God's will are one. So look at what we're doing. It's like, that's amazing. That's an amazing accomplishment of even considering this for 1 second. And not closing down, but opening up to really discover more. Like, how amazing is that? Like, that's really wonderful. So, and even if it is for 10 minutes of the day that you allow this, it's like upside down way of thinking to come to you as an experience, that is already wonderful. That's sufficient for a total change of the whole world that you see. Wow. Yeah, it can be every day happy. There are days bad and days good, and there's days this and there's days that. No. Your function is happiness. Your function is being the light of the world, extending this light into this world, because you have made this world. See, it's not comparable. It is not comparable. It is not like there's no place where it actually meets, is it? Except in your consciousness, where you see what you see, and you know that not to be true by allowing a new vision to come to you. You perceive everything, like you see the things that you see, sure, but you see beyond them, recognizing that what it shows you as an image can never be the truth about you. So it can have no reality at all. Either things are true or not. There's no in between. There's no gray area in that. So is your experience of yourself. When you experience the totality of your mind, the wholeness of your mind, what could be missing in that? What could be not part of that? Like all of it, it's all part of it. Everything is included, but seen in a different light. A light that doesn't distinguish, it doesn't differentiate, it doesn't look for duality, for opposites. No. What it does is it actually opens your eyes for totality, for unity, for love, for extension, for recognition, for seeing that everything is included, that nothing is apart, that everyone is included. No matter what you think about anyone is still included in your total vision of the wholeness that is you. So that's why I'm saying it's like an amazing thing, the fact that you even consider doing this. So great, wonderful. And we continue, of course, we continue. So today there's a lesson too. And we're going to read that in a moment. And we meditate with that. We will be still with that for a moment, just to go inward and to take time to release your ties, like whether that's physical ties or whether that's mental ties or whether that's financial ties or whether that's who knows what ties you have with this world. We leave them for a moment in order for them to be reformulated in a way that is actually helpful for you. By releasing your ties with this world, the world can change too, because you can change. Now that will literally give different images that will really make a change happen. So don't think that things are the same after you really let them go. No, everything is different. They may appear to be the same, but it's really different, because literally you have allowed it to go for a moment. You have allowed it to set it free for a moment. And now it's coming back to you, but in a different way. It's like the incredible investment that you had before, in thinking that you are this body running around in a world of limitation. That has changed already sufficiently, like amazingly that changed. Now we go do that again. Do that again and see, like, every time that you allow the release of your ties to this world, of your ideas about it, about yourself, about this world, about God, about Jesus, about Master Teacher, it can reformulate. It will come back to you in a different frequency. And you will learn, and you will recognize the communication that is taking place beyond the images that you perceive. So it's like opening this eye for the communication is really the training, and it's lovely to see that happen. So the lesson of today is a real help for that too, since it is a miracle prayer. The Holy Spirit looks through me today. See, there you have it. Christ asks that he may use my eyes today and thus redeem the world. He asks this gift that he may offer peace of mind to me. And take away all terror and all pain. And as they are removed from me, the dreams that seem to settle on the world are gone. Redemption must be won. As I am saved, the world is saved with me. For all of us must be redeemed together. Fear appears in many different forms, but love is one. My Father, Christ has asked a gift of me, and one I give that it be given me. Help me to use the eyes of Christ today and thus allow the Holy Spirit's love to bless all things which I may look upon, that His forgiving love may rest on me. Thank you so much. So it's great to be consciously still. Like the conscious part is then not engaging with the thoughts that are tempting you for their attention, or other ideas that you say have so activated in your mind. Like now all that becomes quiet in our meditation. That's so lovely. Like you can see, like Christ looks through my eyes today. It's like I can only do that. I can only see with the eyes of Christ if I still down, step aside out of my ideas about what I see. My ideas in terms of if I believe my perception to be true, or my ego identity, my identity that I defined as myself. If that is released and put aside, you could say, then finally I can see. You can see why that is now. Like the Holy Spirit wants to use your vision to show you something else. But you can only allow that if you step aside. Otherwise you already have an idea about it. This is the most fundamental. It's like first 50 lessons that we do. It's like most fundamentally. But in the practice and application of it, we're actually seeing that it gives us like a whole different view. It's really where salvation is. It's like in allowing that to occur. That's the whole simplicity of it. Now your mind is trained to do so. Step aside, let it go. No, I want to see what's beyond this. And I'm curious what to see there. Like, it cannot be it. I love to see a unified vision instead of a vision of differentiating of opposites and all this. I know those. I'm sick and tired of them. I don't want them any longer. They don't tell me anything true about myself. The talk, expanding the holy instant, or expanding the holy instant, as it says here, expanding the holy instant, is a talk that is not done at the academy, but somewhere else. So it's like introducing A Course in Miracles into a group that is like, it has a lot of different, I'll get myself out of this. So it's like it has a lot of different parts, like a lot of, well, they're not different, but it's like to some, the Course in Miracles is new. And that's a different talk for Master Teacher. So I love to hear that. The same as what we had with Boston, like the Friday night in Boston. There was a lot of them didn't hear about the Course in Miracles much. Like a whole different vision was literally given in that moment. The same with expanding the holy instant, is like that is such an intense talk in that sense, because it keeps very much so like placing it as a whole idea and not distracting, but literally planting it in. Like, here it is. This is the vision. But it's said with so much strength and certainty that it's really beautiful to use that as an introduction to A Course in Miracles. But especially because it is not trying to adapt it to the ones that haven't heard this before. No, this is it is directed to you in an illusion of yourself, coming to know something new, like literally having an opportunity to break open with the intensity of, here it is, this is real energy, this is a real relationship we start here, instead of, well, you can consider these ideas and if you walk out you probably never think about it again. Like, that would be too superficial. Now here it is, like, at least give it a chance. Here it is. Here's the whole package. You receive that. Here it is. It is for you. It is for nobody else. Here you go. You know, so this is like the same with the Boston talk, but it's the same way of putting it down and saying, like, okay, here it is. Now see what happens. I'm inviting you to an experience. Like, this is not just an idea about, oh yeah, this is how you can think too. No, this is recognizing yourself as who you truly are. This is everything given to you. So there's no wavering in it whatsoever. So it's full on, continuously, and that's what I love about this talk. But it also is like way too much and wonderful. So I wanted to say that. Effects you perceive. So here's some expressions. To Course in Miracles people, you Course in Miracles people ought to look at what the Course really teaches. If the effect is not real, the cause cannot be real. You keep trying to give yourself a real cause and then say, well, my effects aren't real, I cannot really be sick. Well, if you cannot really be sick, you can also not really be well. You can also not really be who you think you are. This is basically what he says. Like, it's an all-inclusive idea. You can say, like, okay, well, I cannot be sick, I'm not a body, blah, blah, blah. But that would not cover it. You keep trying to give yourself a real cause, and see, that's an issue. Or like, that's a real thing here, like a real thing in the terms of this is what you encounter all the time, that you see yourself as real, and that part isn't right. So how to teach that? Well, Master Teacher is doing what he can to express it. It's like, so if you, as this, what you think you are, can become sick, or can have this or that, and all these things that you think you have, the last thing you do is doubt about your own reality. You want to be well, but you want these effects, so to speak, to just go and hold on to your self-identification, like the self-made identification, the believing the ideas that you think that you are. And this is really hard to tackle. So that's why you can say, like, when you disappear into light, when you experience a miracle, and when you disappear into light, there's nothing that you have to define about yourself in order to have a real experience. Now that's the difference. There's nothing there that can identify itself as something. Yeah, it cannot look at itself. No, it is the full experience of itself. There's no space for anything else. So this is that's not so easy to teach, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's like, you live in a world of cause and effect. This can happen, that can happen. You hope that that will change, and you have ideas about yourself. Suddenly, whambo, 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 bambo, you have an experience in which you completely dissolve. You experience a miracle that, or a revelation that takes you so completely out of your self as you have defined yourself that there's no space literally for anything else, just like I said a moment ago. But it's like, I repeat it once more, because that is the occurrence that is going to take place within you. Literally escaping all the effects of your own definitions and become a total experience. Like Master Teacher used the word quasar of light. You disappear as a quasar of light, like a big flash, and that's it. And not that that's the end of you, no, but there's also nothing that can look at you. There's nothing to be observed. You're the full experience yourself. And there's nothing in the human experience that can comprehend with it, like that you can compare with it. I mean, like you can't compare it to any human experience. It is a total experience of yourself. There's nothing there to look at you. You come into the direct expression of yourself. That's what it is. It is not a real place that you find yourself. Your conception of your association with yourself has no reality. This is the whole basis of A Course in Miracles, that this is not real. Oops. This is not real. Now you say, well, why does the Course in Miracles give me a choice in this matter? Why can I choose what I want to experience? It has no alternative, because it's faced with the impossible situation of your belief in choice. No choice is possible in this, but you have a belief in choice. That's why the Course in Miracles gives you a choice. Only because you believe there's such a thing as choice. No choice is possible in this. See, this is another fundamental expression. Huge, I mean, really huge. It's like there's no such thing as choice, but only in your mind. In your bubble of yourself, there's an idea of choice. I can choose to drink Coca-Cola now, or I can choose not to drink anything at all. I can sit here, I can stand up, I have choices to make. And I'm continuously choosing, in fact, in every moment, what I want, because I have choice. In my separate state of beingness, I have choice in everything. I continuously choose, because in that I'm coming to my own self-expression. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to choose to live with this one, but I'm not going to choose to live with that one. I'm doing this. I buy that house. I want this boat. I love the color of this. I don't love the color of that. Well, do we have choice? Yeah, all the time. Yeah, we as human beings, within a self-definition of ourselves, we have choice. Now, erasing that in your meditation, you dislodge from your ties to time and space and duality. If there's one, if there's no duality, what is there? There's oneness, there's unity. Is there something to choose in unity if it's one? What do you want to choose between? That literally would be impossible. So in other words, as soon as you think you have a choice, you find yourself in duality. So you can say, to make it easy for yourself, well, whatever I think I need to choose, obviously the choice is already made, because there's nothing to choose. So I don't have to make the choice. It will show me how unity is like brought to expression in this situation. That takes care of, you could call that a prayer, but that takes care of the idea of choice. It is already chosen. There's nothing to choose. So it's like, yeah, let that come to me. I don't have to choose. It will come to me because it if it comes from unity, it will be given to me in the moment that I need it, or before I need it, or however you want to call that, however biblical you want it to make. If I can get you now to see with some degree of certainty that the enlightenment experience that you are undergoing is inevitable, you'll stop making pseudo, unreal choices about your determination to die. You have no real choice, as taught by any awakened mind, to be sick and die. You're trying to counsel that way, but it won't work. If you give them that, they're going to take it. They're then going to tell you they're in a condition of free will where God gives them the right to get sick and die. That is crazy. Wholeness does not know about sickness and death. You better make that step, or you're just going to be out there counseling to death. And why? Yeah, so you're in a condition where you think that you're in a condition of free will where God gives you the right to get sick and die. That's how crazy this is. Like, that's crazy. God does not give you that choice. Wholeness does not know of sickness and death. If wholeness is whole, and wholeness is one, how could there be something disappearing in death? How could there be something that isn't whole? So that goes so deep. You have projected the image of your association onto your patient, and literally you're killing him by allowing him to express himself to you. And that's a fact, incidentally. You enter into his plight. You can't help it. All unhealed teachers do. They start out with a provision of the justification for the possibility of the sickness. You're a liar. He's a projection of your own mind, where in associations you can attempt to appear in unreality. Of course, that is not possible. Is this too tough a lesson for you? Leave. You are going to tell me that guy is sick and then try to heal him? How the hell are you going to heal him if he's really sick? What is it that's sick? If you don't ask that question, you can't get this. You'll repair that with some sort of magical treatment. Everything from booze to aspirin to some sort of laying on of hands. He'll simply re-illusion into another definition of his false self. Do you understand me? You haven't cured him of anything. Bite size expressions. It's like, that's quite a mouthful to express this expression that we just heard. It's like, so the unhealed healer, that's a thing that comes back at some point too in the Course in Miracles. The unhealed healer, it's like, if you haven't accepted this completely for yourself, how are you going to heal anyone? How are you going to teach wholeness if you still doubt about parts of yourself when you believe there are parts of yourself? Now here also another point is then the true perception. How can you heal anyone if you believe this one to be sick? That would be literally impossible. So you can perform a magical treatment in which the thing is gone, but if there was any reality to the place where the patient, so-called patient, is, if there's any reality to the place, you're stuck in space and time and duality, where sickness, death and disease it's like are a reality. It's part of the deal of being in time and space. Now here we roll out of that. It's like, no, and this is not any different than Joel would teach it. You have to accept this for yourself. What do I need to accept for myself? that I was created perfectly, yes, but at the same time that I see that this place is not real. Whatever I see here is perception, is effect. It has no cause, because the one that's perceiving this is what we saw in one of the first expressions. The one that is perceiving this is a definition of itself, but it is not what it truly is. That's why it is nothing. It has no effect. It cannot occur, because it believes in differences. The one thing that is looking at it believes in differences. That's why it makes sense. That's why it tries to make sense of sickness, thinking that there's a sickness and a wealth, a health, and there's this and there's that. There's life and there's death. Like, because you believe in differences, you place yourself in time and space. That's all. So you release those ideas and you're out of time. You're out of the limited ideas of self-identification and come into a full experience of yourself, where you cannot look at yourself because there literally is no perception left. But you come literally in the direct revelatory experience of being the totality of what is. So yeah, that's that's what this is all about. So it's great to just look at some of expressions of Master Teacher. You see, if you slow this down, like, wow, look at what is in there. What totality is teaching totality. Like, there's everything is given in every paragraph, and there's no exception to that. So it's like it's brought to you. Here it is, speaking from the deep certainty of a revelatory mind that only expresses itself. It doesn't have any ideas about itself. So and here it is. Like, and here it is.
That's a fact, incidentally. You enter into his plight. You can't help it. All unhealed teachers do. They start out with the provision of the justification for the possibility of the sickness. You're a liar. He's a projection of your own mind, where in associations you can attempt to appear an unreality. Is it too tough a lesson for you? Leave. You guys who somehow are going to let a sickness, you're going to let this tell me that guy is sick and then try to heal him. How the hell are you going to heal him if he's really sick? What is it that's sick? If you don't ask that question, you can't get this. You'll repair that with some sort of magical treatment, everything from booze to aspirin to some sort of laying on of hands. He'll simply re-illusion into another definition of his false self. Do you understand me? You haven't cured him of anything. What you've done was alleviate his magical associations with his own sickness. Well, you're not going to die of cancer, now you're going to get hit by a truck tomorrow or something. Getting hit by a truck is exactly as sick as dying of cancer. Not only is it exactly the same, but you have made a provision in your karma associations to be killed by a truck. Everything happens because it happens. Everything happens at your will. There is no alternative to this. You don't like that? Too bad. I'm teaching what you must term conceptual reality. Okay? There is nothing objective about reality. Subjective reality. This is the Course in Miracles. This is the declaration of all whole minds. There is nothing outside of you. Okay. There's no such thing as Newtonian physics. There's no such thing as separate objectivity, other realities. The whole basis of the Course is you are caught in thought forms that establish a distance between the thoughts that you had in your mind about a chair and a table and a Leslie speaker, a nice Leslie speaker. Now, do I have memories of this Leslie speaker? Sure. Is that Leslie speaker being manufactured in my mind? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. If you really begin to do the workbook of the Course, the first lesson will be what? You don't know what anything is. It seems as though you know that this is a chair. But remember, that has been established in your conceptual relationship with yourself. I'm going to show you what the Course is trying to get you guys to do, you so-called healers. This is a chair, right? Not so. It is only a chair because within your own memory of your reflected perception, you have made it a chair. You don't know what this is. You don't know what this is. How do you know what this is? You don't know what you are. You don't know how you got here. You have no idea. Now, we can agree that this is a chair as long as we just want to associate in our own perceptions with what it is. Do you agree with me? Let's you and I get together and we'll have a relationship based on this chair. And that'll be perfect as long as we both just think it's a chair. The problem we're going to have is that because you are separate from me, your ideas about what this chair are not the same as mine. And if you think they are, you're wrong. Now, we can establish a temporary association with a chair as long as you don't say to me things like, well, I much prefer to have a padded chair rather than a chair like that. And I say, well, I don't know. What's wrong with this chair? I don't say. You say, who made it? It's not going to last very long. We're caught. How much is it worth? Huh? You and I are caught describing ourselves objectively. And you say, well, that's okay. All of my relationships are objective. Of course. You possess associate thought forms about yourself. You hold on to them and they rust and die. This is exactly the same as an idea in your mind. The idea in your mind will rust and die. This will rust and die. What's the practice of getting out of this? Ask it what it is. Huh? Just ask it. Say, what are you to that chair? Say that. What are you?
What are you?
Wow. Wow. Huh? Wow, look, the chair. This is the 7th lesson in the workbook. The chair is God. This is a godly. Sounds like pantheism. The chair has chair gods. Everybody has their own God, but there's only one. As a matter of fact, the chair god's got a better God than you've got. The chair god knows what it is. Just like a hippopotamus's God is hippopotamus because he doesn't question it. I mean, there's no difference between a hippopotamus and God. You just think there is. No. Why? You've got an objective reality that has given that a sense form. Okay, this is Course in Miracles, and I'm going to get in a holy instant just for a minute. Actually, you are really only establishing yourself each moment. Otherwise, you could never get out of here. You have in you each moment the absolute capacity to change your mind because time itself is not sequential and has no real longevity. It only has, it's chapter 13 of the Course, incidentally. It has longevity only in your own perceptual thought form associations that you hold by your previous frame of reference. Okay? This is a chair. I am a body. I can sit on the chair and be a body and have a heart attack. Ah! Call the medics. You think that I just didn't have a heart attack and die? You're wrong. You're wrong. I just had a heart attack and died. You guys get real defensive. If I really begin to present you with what you're doing in your own mind, you won't like me. You're defending yourself from heart attacks. You watch yours. You guys watch your cholesterol, you know. And you take... What are you caught in? You're caught in the thought forms of your own associations of body. You are not a body. You are as God created you. Okay, once you begin to study the cause and effect relationships with your body, you'll be caught forever. You'll never get out of it. You can't get out of it. How could you? You've given separate identities to the functioning of your own wholeness. You doctors treat patients like they're hunks of pieces. It's astonishing. Well, you got specialists in the everything. You know. Guys, imagine that. A doctor specializes in a particular thought form of the association with the apparent symbiotic relationship of something he has no idea. He's a plumber. It has absolutely nothing to do with what that consciousness is. Wow, is that something? Why would somebody want to do that? Healers? You've already acknowledged the sickness. Now you've become a specialist, a proctologist or something. The whole world is nothing but a species of proctologists. I know you don't like that, but when I see what you guys do, you're always just peering into your own self. You know, you're just... And you defend it too, and you can defend this if you want to. I mean, you really defend it. I wonder if there's that in heaven, you say. Gee, will I be that in heaven? Is what you say to me. So you are in a form of objective reality that precludes your coming together in your real associations with yourself. And this is the lessons that we have come to learn today. That through not identifying with my previous conceptual dualistic associations. Now this is literally true if this image that I have made with my mind is sitting out there is a body. I'll teach you the way the Course teaches us for a moment. At no real time is the body there at all. It's only a projection of your own imagery. Does everybody see that? You make up the images out of your own memory. Okay, I'll do that. Yes, I'll tell them. Yeah. We'll tell them that. That'll be okay. Yeah. So the holy instant then will be the time when suddenly this takes on a different aspect of reality to you, where you lose your objective associate identity with it. That's an experience that has nothing to do with you. You can't accomplish this except by looking at the absolute magnitude of what I'm declaring to you. You're very frightful of doing it. I'm literally telling you there's no such thing as objective reality. Contained in you right now is an idea that this consciousness in its persona, in its personality, is real. You positively have projected that out from your mind. You've given it a separate identity from you, and then you question it in your own relationship. The consciousness literally cannot give you any response except what you have dictated in your own mind, and if you think it can, you're wrong. Why do you continue to study your ego, your personality relationships? What good are they going to do you? I'm going to give you a big one. You literally are not communicating. Stop pretending that you're communicating with your own projections. You're communicating only with yourself, and that is not communication. I know you think it is. I'm telling you that you're wrong. I'm telling you there are no such thing as separate thoughts. Take a bite of it. This is the teachings of the Course in Miracles. There are not separate thoughts going on in somebody else's mind separate from yours. You better be thankful there aren't. Because if there were, your problem is literally not solvable. If that consciousness really has a separate associate thoughts from you, how are you ever going to get to know what he's talking about? You're just going to have to agree on a temporary association with him. You are not communicating with him. Stop pretending you are. That's a big step for you. What do you mean by that, you say? Well, let's get together and decide what we mean by that. How? You don't know who you are. If that's a projection of your mind, it's impossible that he is going to give you any message that you do not want to hear, so let's not kid ourselves about this. That includes the message of your death, his death, and every possible idea that you cherish in relationship to your conceptual self. How is this said? That's what this says. This is Course in Miracles. How you could fall down into the idea that the Course in Miracles is an exchange in perceptual relationship is absurd to me. It has absolutely no meaning and no value. The declarations of A Course in Miracles from out of time is that time is not real, that this is not real, and that it never happened. And that the practice of coming to know that is a fallacy. That the practice of coming to know that is illusionary, but it's the only alternative. I am going to give you, through this mechanism of transformation, a new dream. It'll still be a dream, but it will be the bringing together of all of your memories into a harmonious association. Okay? It's still an image. It still appears to be separate. It gets brighter. It makes you happy. It makes you joyous. You lose the conflicts that you've established with that consciousness to defend your own associations with yourself. I don't know where you're hearing this. You got to wake up and hear it. Instead of trying to console, everything's going to be okay. The consoling is it's not going to be okay. All awakened minds or progressive minds who have turned their wills over to God console that the world will never be okay. The problem of the world cannot be solved, and if you'll stop trying to do it, okay, you'll discover that you always were the problem. And there never or ever could be a problem except as you have established it in your own mind. Until you stop trying to define yourself in relationship with your own mind projections, it is impossible that this can occur. Why? You have the power of your mind to hold on to it and die in your own karma drama. And you do. Fortunately for you, since you invented time, you can change your mind about your conceptual associations with it. Okay? Time has no longevity more than an instant unless you give it that. Not that that instant is true, but that instant of the time of the apparent schism is what? The closest that you can get to reality. When would that instant be? When? Say it. Now. It would have to be now. All right? If you have shortened time, this is the pure Course in Miracles now. If you have shortened your perceptual determination not to die, you haven't laid up a store that's making provisions for you to die. That's absurd. Why do you store things up? You're going to die anyway. Why don't you use them now and give them away in love? Oh, I wouldn't dare do that. How would I keep myself from what? Well, yeah, you guys go, I wouldn't dare do that. Until you do that, you'll never be alive. Some of you hear that. I know a lot of my people hear this very plainly. That's why they protect everything by giving it away. If you hold on, if you hold on to a perceptual idea about yourself, you protect it, you project it into the future. It rusts and gets old, and you die along with it. And you tell me that's okay. Well, go ahead. The whole teachings of Master Jesus Christ of Nazareth are you should live in the now, don't plan for the future, consider the lilies of the field, don't defend yourself, and you would be in heaven, and you are in heaven because you did that. Okay, the problem that you're having is remembering that you did it. It is impossible that I am presenting anything to you that has not been done in your mind. Where do you want to hear that? If I'm a construct of your mind, it must be that you have already remembered and ascended into heaven following the schism. It's impossible that that not be so. Isn't it? If perception is only past tense, how did I get into your mind in the first place? How come I'm telling you this now? What do you do with it? All I've ever done is tell you this. 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 All I've ever done is tell. Literally, all I have ever done is tell you this. You can do all sorts of things if you want to. They mean nothing to me. I'm what you call a designated whole mind. This is what I've got going on around here. We're very much aware, this is pure Course in Miracles now, that we have undergone transformations of our mind that give us the single provision of showing you your own reality. We do nothing but that. The exact difference in my mind and yours is not honesty, it's constancy, and that's what you can't stand about me. No matter what you tell me about yourself, I'll tell you you're perfect and happy and in heaven. And you'll say, no, I'm not, and I'll say, yes, you are. And you'll say, no, I'm not, and I'll say, yes, you are. You'll say, no, I'm not, and you'll go through another death process, have a heart attack to prove that you're right. And then you'll come back to me again, and you'll say, well, nah, this time I got it solved. This time I'm going to be a human being on the planet Earth, and I'm going to live to be And I'll say, well, looks like you got a pretty good thing going there. Well, other people outside of me are dying, but I'm okay. Who's to stop you from doing that? No one. Okay, death is a decision. Can you hear this? All you'd have to say to me is, I don't want to die. Try that. Say, I'm not going to die anymore. Say that. Hey, this is Angel's teaching. This angel has an awakened mind, has gone through a process. So the show we're taking on the road is swear not to die. Okay, what you just did ensured you eternal life because life is eternal. Okay, you can quarrel about that with yourself, but it'll be to no avail. Why? You made the one true statement that it's necessary for you to make. If time is death, eternity knows not of time. Time knows not of eternity. Time has to be death because it's born. Anything born has to die. The quicker you can do it, the more you can see there is no time. The whole teaching is to be born and die each moment. That's the holy instant. Now, the unholy instant is your stringing together of your dead associations. The holy instant is the accumulation of a new you through the declaration of your reality, which will what? Shorten time because it cleans up your previous perceptual associations that have accumulated in your own genetic, what you call your I Ching, what you call your Akashic record. You search your Akashic record for a solution to your problem. It's not there. It's literally not there. You're caught in time of thought form association. You say, well, I went into an astral plane and I was instructed by a Hindu priest. What the hell good's that going to do you? He can't tell you anything you don't want to hear. The one thing that you're very afraid to hear is that God is real and that you're actually in heaven. That's why you're afraid of God. Since you have to defend yourself, God appears to be outside of you. You have to project your wrath onto Him and make Him a wrathful God from which you protect yourself. It's crazy, but you do it. What am I here to tell you? Quit doing it. Stop doing that. Don't do that anymore. Stop doing that. Well, it's better than you were yesterday. Coming along a little bit there. I've never seen anything like that. Some of you guys get really sunk down into this, you know. I wonder, how, what's this all about? Why? Your condition is to defend yourself. Like that, just like that. Well, what do you mean by that? That's what you do. If you defend yourself, I must be attacking you by what I say. The only way you can know is I'm not attacking you is not by not defending yourself from this. This seems far too outlandish for you to be so. You'd much rather write up on all your prescription for the answer to your own mind, and you're wrong. I am giving you a completely outlandish, insane solution. Okay, whole mind has to appear insane to perceptual mind because it has no guidance system. It simply declares love, and that's what you're deadly afraid of. Why? You'd lose your associate consciousnesses. The things that you love would live forever. There's one thing you don't want, the things you love to live forever. You really can't stand them fundamentally. They are attractions of your hate and disassociation from other thought forms. Everybody hear this? The reason you guys don't want to live forever is because it's finally very painful for you. You think that eternity is a long time. It has nothing to do with time at all. So you can hardly wait to die finally to get out of the pain and tension that you're in. I'm not going to let you die anymore. Now what are you going to do? You can insist that you're going to, but I know you perfectly in my mind. I know you I know you intimately within the last 200 years. We know each other. All of us are what you would term quick reassociations. If you guys look around, you'll see consciousnesses that you have been in association with intensely in the last 200 years, and you know it. You just keep writing different scripts for yourself and hold yourself in a particular coordination of what you want that consciousness to be. What are you going to do with me? How did I get stuck into this then? Now you really got a problem. Why? I'm making you address your own problem, and you don't want to do that. You're the cause of this, and therefore you're the solution. You would much rather share sickness and death with me as you have projected me, so that I can give you a value in association with our mutual bodies. Don't tell me you don't, because that's what a human being is. Not only that, but it is expressed as love and is love. Dear one, I'm not trying to take your love away from you. I'm just trying to give you whole love rather than discriminatory death associations. That requires the confession that everything that you love gets sick and dies. Is that a true statement? Don't give me this as going through a transition and everything is going to be okay. That's senseless. Jesus in the Course says, it's a strange idea that somehow a part of you would die and a part of you would be real and go on. That's absolutely senseless. If anything dies, everything dies. Wouldn't that be so? Okay, there is no death. How can I come to know that? Okay, bring your associate consciousness, which you define as a body, into a whole thought form relationship. This is called in the Course in Miracles the face of Christ. These consciousnesses who are undergoing this transformation are literally having bright images of their own thought form associations. They may see your face, for example, as the Christ. The practice that we'll do this afternoon is to look through, this is the Course, to look through the consciousness that you're sitting. If you guys want to do this in therapy, you're starting to do it now because you can feel this opening up in you. What? We begin to look through each other rather than establish our reality here. Okay? As long as you defend yourself in thought form, our reality has to be established at what we would call an aesthetic distance between us. This is pure Course now. We have thought forms that we bring together and project from us and mingle in some sort of pool of consciousness and defend our own associations with ourselves. We now have what? Maintained a distance between ourselves and associated ourselves by our own projections. I am showing you that if you will release your opinion of me, you will discover that through your own creative mind, you have extended me from your wholeness, and since you are whole, the consciousness that you're identifying with is whole. Okay? This is a process of the relinquishment of judgment. Okay? Now, my mind, which is in spirit, what we call the opening here, only sees you, Jesus calls this looking through, see? I'm only seeing you as a whole consciousness in my association. I'm not thinking the way you're beginning to release it now. Oh, I wonder why you're wearing your earrings and your gun. This is what you do. How did you get here? Why are you sitting there? Who are you? Who does your hair? I'm not doing that. Okay? I have absolutely no concern about what your name is. When you do your workshops in this, stop wearing identification cards, for goodness sake. What you're doing is condemning your brother to death before you even meet him. Hi, I'm John. How long you been doing the Course? Well, I've been doing the Course for 7 or 8 years. I'm a doctor of Ploopy-Doop. And oh, is that so? Oh, that's nice. What do you study? Well, I study the glaciers on the moons of Jupiter. Really? Well, that's interesting. I study the beetles in the Brazilian jungle. It's all just blah. What are you doing? Keeping on to your own identities. You're holding on to your own self-assertions in order to keep your identity. But I'm a great threat to you because I only love you, and boy, if one thing you're not going to take, it's that. There's some lovely sentence in the Course. Jesus says, boy, if love gets too close to you, look out. You're going to back away from that. Right. There has to be a justification for love. Your mind is a justification for your limited love associations. The idea that you are whole and beautiful in God's sight is impossible for you because your identity is based on not being that. Okay? You don't have anything to say about it. So let's give up your own self-identities in these holy instances, and then we can come to know who we are. I didn't mean to get into a talk. Yeah, I don't know what I never know what I'm going to do. Is this being recorded? Are you guys still with us out there? This tape will be available at God's Holy Place. The first 3 years after my awakening, and still, I wouldn't allow any sort of taping. Awakened minds have a natural aversion to associate judgment, because this kind of talk is inherently crucifixial. I'm presenting you with the reality of you, and there's a defense that you have built in not to hear the simple teachings of Jesus Christ, or what I'm saying to you. In the Course, Jesus says you crucify the Christ each moment by your refusal to admit your own Christhood. You literally kill yourself, which is exactly what you've been doing. Don't do that anymore, okay? And you'll be whole and free. Okay? It's not too early for you to do this now. You stop looking for the second coming outside yourself. The second coming is you changing your mind, if you want to use it in the religious vernacular. It's impossible that you are not both the Christ and the Antichrist. The part about the Christ doesn't disturb you as much as the part about the Antichrist, but if you're not the Antichrist, who is? Can you understand that you can't be opposed to anything in reality? That all opposition is false? That all negativeness, that is, a disassociation from anything, is a declaration of less than wholeness and is literally impossible. You cannot be separate from reality. Never negate. Never. All negation is an opinion. The whole teachings, my teaching, I agree with everybody. Don't defend yourself in any regard. Have no opinions about everything. Be weak. Be meek. Be poor in spirit. Step back. Be number two. Let the world go. Don't succeed. Give up stores. Well, that's an impossible message. I don't want to hear that. Don't. Is this the message that you must hear and practice? Yeah. Now, watch your next response. Well, nobody here does that. That's what you're going to do. You're doing it right now. Well, I know, but all around me are these images, and certainly none of these other consciousnesses are doing that, and never will. They literally never will. Why are you trying to change the effects? All of your counseling is an attempt to change the consciousnesses sitting out there. The practice is to change you. Do you see? You project it outside of you, and you demand of that consciousness sitting there that he change his mind. That's the craziest thing I ever heard of. It's impossible. There's no way you can do it. I know I'm teaching in your weakness and your strength, and in your total weakness is your salvation. Why? You're in competition with God, and you will not succeed. You think that you will, but you won't. You can't, because you are perfect. You can say to him 1,000,000 times, how did this happen? I say to you, what difference does it make how it happens? Wouldn't you rather have it not be so? Why would you want to get cancer? I'm really curious. And you say to me, well, I don't want to get it, right? Well, why do you get it then? And you're going to say to me, I can't do anything about it. And I'll say, that's crazy, that's absurd. I'm telling you, it's crazy and absurd for you to get cancer. I don't very often do this. I just straightened something out in you. Did you feel that? Okay. Now, that's a little plus that goes along. Yeah, you can feel that too. Okay. That's a new frame of reference that I gave you in regard to your cancer. Oh, I don't have cancer. Yes, you do. If anyone has cancer, you do. And you had it. You don't have it anymore. You know that you decided to die of cancer? That's crazy. Don't do that. That's fact. And you know it, and I know it. But now it's not going to happen. And you say, well, maybe I'll die of something else. No, it's too late. In the teacher's manual, they say, what's the difference between healing and atonement? They're the same thing. If you're whole in any regard, you're whole completely. You keep dividing up your own sicknesses. It's crazy. Am I a healer? I'm the greatest healer that ever came into the earth. I'm the only one. You guys can't hear that. I don't care whether you hear it or not. If there's only one sickness, there's only one solution. That has to be me. Well, what's your salvation? Believe me. You'd have to believe me. Obviously, that would be the requirement. Why? I'm a projection of your denial. Is it really that simple? Of course it's that simple. How could it, if I'm only a product of your own mind, literally all you have to do is declare your brother to be the Christ. This is Course now. Do you guys do Course in Miracles here? Well, I'm giving you the Course in Miracles. Do you like that or not? You're my Savior. Yes. It doesn't make it makes absolutely no difference whether you think you're my Savior or not. I'm certain that you are. In that, I'm redeemed. Thank you for saving me from this. I don't care whether you're the cause of it or the effect of it. Why? The cause and effect aren't apart. I could care less whether you believe that Jesus Christ wrote the Course in Miracles. Remember that Jesus Christ is the Course in Miracles. He is not an idea about it. Jesus Christ can be a separate conceptual observation that you have about Jesus in your own mind. If you do that, then you have to separate the Jesus that speaks from the Jesus in what Jesus says. That's absurd. If cause and effect are not apart, a whole mind is what it says. You attempt to judge, you're doing it right now, you attempt to judge what I tell you based on how you've constructed me. That's crazy. You've got your cause and effect apart. What's his name? Wapnick. He's very determined to give the previous consciousness an association of 2,000 years. He can well do that, but the only conclusion he can ever arrive at is that man, Jesus, is man ascended. That you, Margaret the Christ, are Margaret in sin or sickness, unreal, going through a transformation and coming whole. That process is singular. There aren't multiple separations, guys. Oh, how absurd. Anything what would be the difference if you're separated from the whole? Why do you want to have a multitude of differences in relationship to what you are? Don't do that. That's the way you hang on to your illusion. You think there are degrees of, you can't tell the difference between happiness and pain and sickness and that. So don't do it anymore.